Good morning, students. Today we are going to learn third part of the lesson 2.6 Science and Spirituality of Standard 10. In this lesson, first part and second part we have already studied. We came to know Dr. Kalam, who was a great scientist, who was greatly impressed by the principles, followed by his father. Though his father was a boatman, but he served as an imam at local mosque. And in childhood, Dr. Kalam had other two friends who were from different religions. One is from Hindu religion. His name was Pakshi Lakshmana Shastrigal, and another one, Reverend Father Bodal. They used to sit together and discuss the problems of the community and try to find the solutions. In this way, he started to think about the community. And later on, he came in contact with the great scientist. And there also, he came to know all these great people follow particular principles in their life. Dear students, now we are going to see part third. A few years later, in the early 90s, Professor Satish Dhawan, the director of ISRO, that is Indian Space Research Organization, under whom Dr. Kalam had made his first unsuccessful launch in 1970. And then a successful one in 1980 had provided him with more soul-shaping wisdom. It means after some years, in the beginning of 1980s, that is a decade, starts from 1971 to 1980, Professor Satish Dhawan, who was the director of Indian Space Research Organization, under whom Dr. Kalam had made his first unsuccessful launch. Launch means beginning. In 1970 and then a successful one in 1980. He had provided him with more soul-shaping wisdom. So in this way, he provided him more effective guidance so that he became successful. One day in 2012, we were discussing the number of PhDs. So what were the three friends doing? That they were discussing the number of PhDs Dr. Kalam had received. How many degrees Dr. Kalam had received? He said to me, Srijan, Professor Dhawan had so many master's degrees, all from the best institutions, no less. So I asked him how one can become so academically accomplished. So during the discussion, they came to know that Professor Satish Dhawan had received so many master's degrees. Master's degrees means after bachelor's degrees from the best institutions, no less. So I asked him how one can become so academically accomplished. So he had a doubt that how can one become academically so much accomplished. Accomplished means successful. He responded, saying that academic brilliance is no different from the brilliance of a mirror. See, here the writer had given the best example of mirror, which we come in front of a mirror every day. So the writer said that academic brilliance is no different from the brilliance of a mirror, which can be diminished. Diminished means reduced by a coating of dust only when the dust is removed. So if we remove the dust of the mirror, it becomes the clear. Only when the dust is removed, it happens. Does the mirror shine and the reflection becomes clear? We can remove the impurities. So by dusting, we can remove the impurities. Obscuring. Obscuring means making unclear our souls by living pure and ethical lives, ethical, moral lives, and by serving humanity. And then God will shine through us. These words took me back to my meeting with Dr. Kalam after my graduation from IIMA in 2009. At the time, he had advised me to use my degree and gold medal to transform the society I lived in. So at that time, he advised me, whatever education you had received, use that for the betterment of the society where he lived. Back in the present moment, it suddenly struck me that Dr. Kalam's advice had, in fact, directly resonated from Professor Dhawan's belief. Resonated means echoed or resounded. The more I lived and worked with Dr. Kalam, the more I realized that though his words of wisdom I was getting to learn from countless great minds. So here I noticed that Dr. Kalam's great minds, he had already advised us to use the knowledge, to use the education, whatever we have received from the academic section must be used for the betterment of the society, for the development of the society, for the improvement of the level of the society. In April 2009, Dr. Kalam was invited to attend the 102nd birthday celebration. So see, in those days, in the year of April 2009, Dr. Kalam was invited to attend the 102nd birthday celebration of His Holiness Dr. Sri Shivkumara Mahaswamiji in the Tumkur district of Karnataka. So this Mahaswamiji Shivkumara Mahaswamiji was 102 years old and he was going to celebrate his birthday there. So when Dr. Kalam was invited to attend this birthday, so see, the given sentence is in passive voice. Why? See the sentence. From in April 2009, Dr. Kalam was invited to attend the 102nd birthday celebrations of His Holiness. So this sentence is in passive voice because in this sentence the form of to be was is also there and the main verb invited is in third form, that is in past participle form. So the given sentence is in passive voice. So the sentence will be active as they invited Dr. Kalam to attend the 102nd birthday celebrations of His Holiness in April 2009. Mahaswamiji is a remarkable person. Remarkable means unforgettable. Easily one cannot forget. So Shivkumara Mahaswamiji is a remarkable person who has dedicated his life to the service of humanity. So what Shivkumara Mahaswamiji had done, he had dedicated, he had offered, he had concentrated for the betterment of the society. So he dedicated his life to the service of humanity. His greatest contribution is the establishment of free residential education system for more than 9,000 children in the ashram. So what was the greatest contribution of Shivkumara Mahaswamiji? That is, he established a free residential education system for more than 9,000 children in the ashram. Means he made a plan to educate the children, and he had founded such an organization in his ashram. He made the adjustment of a residential school. It means the students can reside there, means stay there and study, and the number of students, the capacity of that institution, that ashram, that was 9,000 children. The most astonishing means surprising. The most astonishing aspect of the entire event of his birthday was that the 102-year-old Swamiji stand on his feet without any support. Here the writer says the most astonishing, surprising, marvelous thing is what? That this Shivkumara Mahaswamiji stood on his feet without any support, though he was 102 years old. He looked as steady and alert as any other youngster present there. So though his age was 102 years old, but he was steady. He was not shivering. He was not trembling. He looked as steady and alert as any other youngster, that is young one present there. The display of inner strength touched Dr. Kalam deeply. So this display, that is show of inner strength, touched Dr. Kalam deeply. So Dr. Kalam focused, came to know the inner strength of Shivkumara Mahaswamiji. A couple of days later means after 2 days, we were discussing this unusual birthday party. I said to him, so as we discuss about any event or function or program, we were also discussing this unusual. Unusual means abnormal, special, extraordinary birthday party. I said to him, sir, do you know, only 4 out of 1 lakh people cross the age of 100. So writer asked, what? Are you aware? that only 4 out of 1 lakh people cross the age of 100. It means it is very difficult to survive for more than 100 years. I had googled the subject beforehand. I had already collected the information using Google. He replied. Replied means answered. He answered. But how many of these 4 would be able to stand tall for half an hour, give a wise discourse? So he gave the answer by saying, yes, I agree with that. Only 4 out of 1 lakh people cross the age of 100, and out of them, how many would be able to stand tall for half an hour? Give a wise discourse. Discourse means a formal talk including a debate. So that time a debate started, and he asked a question, out of those 4, means only 4 out of 1 lakh people cross the age of 100, and out of these 4, how many are able to stand tall for half an hour? So such type of debate started, and then go on to feed thousands of children, and after that he went to feed thousands of children. Of course, nobody could know the exact answer to his question, but the question itself. So it was sure that nobody was able to know the exact answer to his question, but the question itself led to many other relevant queries. There is no doubt that anybody was able to answer the question, but the question itself led to many other relevant queries, related to the same topic. Queries means questions. I wonder means I surprise. What powers Shivakumara Mahaswamiji possesses that keep him so strong at such an advanced age? So writer says that I wondered, I surprised that what was the power which Mahaswamiji possesses, which keep him so strong at such an advanced age. Maybe it's a balanced diet. So one may say, maybe means it is possible. It happens because of a balanced diet and a healthy lifestyle, or perhaps it's genetics. Genetics means study of genes. I asked. Dr. Kalam sat contemplating deeply. Contemplate means to think in detail, to think deeply. He recollected the tenet of goodness of action from Pramukh Swamiji. Tenet means a principle or belief. So Dr. Kalam sat there thinking deeply, and he recollected, means he remembered again the principles of goodness of action from Pramukh Swamiji. Then, perhaps swimming in silence to the shores of Mahapragyaji, he gathered the sands of conscience Conscience means a person's moral sense of right and wrong. To be our guide, our best friend, deeper down in the space-time of memory. He must have heard Professor Brahma Prakash words about the need of living a pure and ethical life. So he started thinking that he must have heard the words of Professor Brahma Prakash about the need of living a pure and ethical life, ethical, moral life, using the conscience, that is, a person's moral sense of right and wrong. And Father Pereira's and Dr. Sarabhai's lesson of selflessness in service. Eventually means finally, means at the end. Eventually, his thoughts would have settled on Swami Shivananda of Rishikesh, in whom he saw great tranquility. Tranquility means peace, calmness, silence. And finally, they must have come full circle with the memory of the life of simplicity of his father, who always espoused the value of giving back. Espoused means gave support to. So in this way, Dr. Kalam recollected, remembered the principles followed by his own father. At long last, so at the end, finally he spoke. It is the very spirit of what can I give. So he said that this is the spirit of what can I give. Means, what am I able to give? He elaborated. Elaborated means explained in detail. Mahaswamiji lives with the beliefs and ethos of our mission. Ethos means characteristics, that is, a particular spirit of a culture or era. Era means a particular period. So he said that Mahaswamiji lives with the beliefs and ethos of our mission. He gives and gives. So what does Mahaswamiji do according to him? He gives and gives. Education to famished minds. Note down the meaning of famished. Famished means extremely hungry. So according to him, Mahaswamiji used to give and give education to extremely hungry minds. It means he used to educate those who wanted to. Food to famished bodies. So he used to give food to those who are extremely hungry. In giving so much, he becomes strong. So by providing such things to the famished, means to the extremely hungry, his munificence. Munificence means generosity. Fuels his strength. सो उसकी जो कैपेसिटी थी कि तहे दिल से वो दूसरों को दे दिया करता था, डोनेट करता था। सो उनकी जो कैपेसिटी है, दैट इज जनरसिटी है, दैट फ्यूल्स हिज स्ट्रेंथ, दैट इंक्रीजेस हिज स्ट्रेंथ, दैट इज व्हाट कीप्स हिम स्टैंडिंग tall and active in life. And only because of this capacity of giving food, education to the famished people. Famished means extremely hungry. Because of educating such type of famished people, because of giving or providing food to such type of famished people, his generosity fuels his strength. That is what keeps him standing tall and active in life. And only because of this he used to be active and standing tall in life. The essence of a happy life and a peaceful society lies in one sentence. What can I give? So everything was there only in this sentence. The sentence was, what can I give? Means what is my capacity, what is my ability to give others, to the famished, to the extremely hungry. Turning to me, he asked, what is the reverse of what can I give? Then he turned towards me and said, what is the reverse? What is the opposite of these? What is the opposite of what can I give? Circumspectly, I replied. Circumspectly means cautiously. I replied. I answered. I gave answer. The opposite of what can I give is what can I take? He said yes. And that is the thought which is responsible for all the wrong we see around us. And he said, of course, you are 100% right. The opposite of what can I give is what can I take? And that is the thought which is responsible for all the wrong we see around us. We think that we can take from the environment and destroy it indiscriminately. Indiscriminately means thoughtlessly. He continued and said, we think that we can take from the environment. We think that so many things are available around us and we can take anything, whatever we would like to. We can take anything and destroy it thoughtlessly. So this is the worst thing. So he wants to say that whatever is available, we can use them for the prosperous objectives, for the betterment of the society. We think of what we can take from other humans. So he says, what do? We think of what we can take from other humans, leading us to corruption and inequality. So it is natural that every human being is selfish. But we should think about others also. So if we are that much generous, if we have that much capacity to help others, to support others, we must. But what do? We think of what we can take from other humans, leading us to corruption and inequality. So, we always think that what can we have from other human beings, and we lead us to corruption, to improper things, and even to inequality. That is inequity. Inequity means injustice. This attitude of taking and taking even destroys families. So this attitude of ours, what attitude of taking and taking even destroys families. To keep this planet livable and the human race thriving, we have to replace this attitude of what can I take with the goodness of what can I give. So writer says, if we wish to survive, if we want to keep this planet livable, that is alive, and the human race thriving, it means human being should be survived. In that case, we must replace this attitude of what can I take with the goodness of what can I give. So everybody should start thinking that whatever is possible for us to give, we must. The gravity of the message struck me. Gravity means seriousness. Struck the writer. The seriousness of the message struck the writer. This challenge became my silent motivation. And he said that this challenge of changing our attitude became my silent motivation. Motivation means inspiration, encouragement. 3 years later, that is after 3 years, in 2012, in which year? In 2012, this idea became a reality as our What Can I Give movement. So this idea, this attitude of what can I give, we started a movement. The name of that movement is What Can I Give? So this idea became a reality as our What Can I Give movement, through which Dr. Kalam tried to combat corruption. Through this movement, Dr. Kalam made efforts to combat corruption. Combat means fighting between armed forces. So in this way, Dr. Kalam tried to fight against the corruption, environmental degradation, and social evils. Social evils means the bad things takes place in society. It is important that we ask ourselves this question, for in the answer lies the truth of humanity. So we ask the question, and the answer lies the truth of humanity. So go ahead and question yourself. So writer tells at the end of the lesson, ask a question to yourself, what can I give? The answers will be astounding. Astounding means amazing, surprisingly, impressive. And if we ask such a question to ourselves, what can I give to the society? How can I make improvement in the society? Definitely the answer will be surprisingly amazing and impressive. So students, in this way, have you understood the lesson? If anybody has any query, may go through the lecture once again. I separated the lesson is already separated in 3 parts, and throughout the lesson the message has been passed to make efforts for the betterment of the society, for the improvement of the society. Whatever education we receive, that education must be used for the development, for the improvement of the society, and in this way there will be the benefit of the nation, there will be the benefit of the country, and in this way our country will become a powerful country. Thank you.